I'm Mishima Yuki, and you're listening to the Giant Sword Podcast, home of the second biggest group of Phantom Thieves ever. The first being me. Keck.
Hello, and welcome to this week's Giant Sword Podcast. I'm your party leader, Nick Lynn. To my side is Taylor, who is my noble and Harryar.
What's up?
And once again, we have no Maddie. Maddie is taking a break.
Maddie voluntarily opted out since
She actually left a note. I'm gonna read it right now. It says, "I hate you all. I only play WoW and HOTS, and I have my own podcast, and you all suck."
wow, word for word. I can't believe it.
I'm just joking. She's just taking a break.
We showed her all the news. She's like, I don't really know what any of this is, so
yep.
I'd just sit here for an hour.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Exactly. So she will be on whenever there's stuff that she could relate to.
Yep.
But another news. Another good news. Another good news. I didn't mean it that way. Other news.
Guy hates his sister. What a guy.
Connors might be coming back. So
He might be. It'd be good to have him on.
Yep. His Connorness. It's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
And all you new guys who don't know who Connor is, you're in for a treat.
Just listen to older episodes. He was like part of the original gang.
Yes, indeed. All right. So a bunch of news.
Yes.
Ton of news. Like right after our last episode, like all this news came out from this like pre-TGS show.
Yep.
And we're still pre-TGS, and it sucks because we're going to have an episode right before TGS. And well, at least TGS is at the end of the week, not the beginning.
Yep.
So.
And then there was a Nintendo Direct as well.
There was a Nintendo
Had
Direct.
some news.
Some news.
I had some good news.
No, I had some good news.
Yep.
It was just like, whoa. We totally forgot to put one on, but
I'll remember the relevant ones.
Yeah. All right. So let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10 and 10-2, 12 Zodiac Age, World of Final Fantasy Maxima.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, all announced for Switch and Xbox.
Yeah, finally. Wow. There was rumors about this ahead of time, so I wonder if there were leaks or something like that. Mm-hmm. But Game Explain seems to know everything, and I watched their little prediction video, and it had Cloud on the thumbnail. I'm like, how did they know this? But they have their sources.
But yeah, it's just, all these are coming out on the Switch and on the Xbox. I don't know. In 2019, it says 2019. We got a new. I don't know if this is like a remake or like an expanded version of World of Final Fantasy.
I think it is because it had Zack and Noctis, and I don't think they're in the original.
And there's like new modes and stuff like that. Never played the original. What would you think?
I never played it either. It looked. I really didn't like the art style.
Yeah, it's like
really
super.
Weird.
It's weird because it has. It's like. It looked like kind of like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
And then it became like super chibi.
Yeah, that art style is so ugly. I don't like it.
Just like the Pocket Edition of it.
That's super ugly too. Ugh. And that also came out. Speaking of which.
Oh yeah, it came out for Switch now.
It's almost half off. It's really weird. So it's $30 full price, but if you buy it on Switch, it's like $18.
Because people are not going to buy it.
Exactly. They're like, here, buy it for really cheap, please. Oh god.
It's like playing a PS1 game because when they talk, their mouths don't move at all. There's like.
But they have the voice acting from the original game, which is really weird.
And the battle system looks weird too.
Yeah, if you've played that, if you were one of the brave that downloaded, let us know in the comments what it plays like, because I'm so curious.
Exactly. And let us know in the comments if you're actually excited about all these ports.
Yeah, I'm so curious. I don't think anybody's going to buy it on Xbox, but I think they're going to sell a lot on Switch.
Yeah, people. I love how it's like, it's finally portable. I'm like, no, I could play 7, 9, 10, and 10-2 portable already.
Yeah, I know, right?
On my Vita. The 12, though, is pretty cool. Playing 12 portable, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
But Nick, everything is portable with the Vita.
Think about
it. Just stream it. Yeah, but...
Well, yeah, you can, but you need a awesome internet and at the place that has your PS4 and at the place that's your
I know.
and you need a PlayStation Pro.
Yep. But the PS4 is probably the better version of 12. I mean, I have no idea what it looks like on Switch, but I only can imagine that it's going to run better on PS4.
Run 30 frames per second on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal Chronicles. I have never played it, never touched it, never even thought about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about it with this one. Like, when I saw the gameplay, it kind of reminded me of playing Diablo.
Yeah, so I was talking about this on the Discord, and people thought I was being facetious, but like literally all I remember is you have a bucket and you go to get like miasma or magic or mana, and then you bring it back, and that's all I remember about that game. And I'm like, this game's like 5 minutes long, but apparently the crux of it is it's a multiplayer game, which I didn't know because I didn't play with other people. I just played. That's like one of 2 GameCube games I ever played.
It was a Final Fantasy game. Like, I gotta get it.
Exactly. That was my thought. I'm like, well, it's Final Fantasy. Gotta play it. I didn't know better.
You didn't know better.
But I'll be curious if this is fun multiplayer. It's like
online.
So I found out something extremely fascinating about Crystal Chronicles. So let me lay this on you. So back in the day, I think this is actually after Square Enix put out Spirits Within, and it bombed, and it cost them a lot of money. And to prevent them from going under, Sony bought 20% of Square Enix. But part of that was you can only put Final Fantasies on PlayStation. And so they created a shell company, and they made Crystal Chronicles, and they put it on GameCube. That's why that game exists.
That's interesting.
I had no idea. And I was like, that is really weird.
Well, that contract from Sony does not exist
No, not anymore.
Because it's on everything now.
Yeah, they must have bought themselves out or something.
They were like, you know what? Sony's probably like playing the next. It's like, you know what? It's fine. You could have it. It's fine.
Or Square just made up the money and they just bought themselves out. I don't know what happened, but yeah, that was a kind of a funny little tangent.
Yeah, if you guys have any stories about Crystal Chronicles, leave it in the comments. Go join our Discord. Tell us about it on Discord. I want to know. I don't have no idea what this game is. I've heard like from people on the Discord tell us like, oh, it's so much fun, so many good memories. So
if it for the right price, I would be interested in playing it with people on Discord. If it's like $40 is like the highest I want to go in that game. If it's 50, I have to really think about it. I think it'll be 40 on PS4 and then it'll be 50 on Switch. So there's always that Switch tax.
Yeah, so it says PS4 and Switch. No Xbox version for this?
Nah.
All right. But everything else is coming to Xbox.
Yep.
Okay, so Fairy Fencer F Advent Dark Force coming to the Switch this fall. Have you ever played a Fairy Fencer F game?
Nope. But that's one of those like PS3 era like compile hard Idea Factory type games. I remember you were really interested in it at one point. Like, I want to get into these games. So this seems like a Nick game.
This seems like a Nick game. It's a compile hard game.
I know, but you're willing to dive into the niche. So I'd be really curious.
I'm gonna try. I think I am going to try.
You're gonna go into this one, PS4 or Switch?
PS4.
Okay.
Why?
Oh, it just says Switch, but.
No, that's there you go. So this is the Switch version that's coming out. But look at it; it's super cutesy and compile. It's very,
like
very.
Game.
It's Idea Factory.
Okay, that's what I said. Yeah, Idea Factory.
Not compile heart. 3 stories, 3 paths.
Cool.
The only compile game I ever bought. Glad that people get to play it. So it is a compile. It's both.
Yeah, apparently it must be good.
So.
Or it's one of their better ones.
Yeah, it's probably going to be just as lewd and stuff like that.
I don't know if it's that kind of game, but
come on,
who knows?
Come on. I mean, this guy has lewd sometimes.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's coming to Switch. Maybe get it. Maybe not.
Okay, so
the next news that we're going to say.
We totally called this.
We called this. We're like, why is it shutting down? I bet you it's coming. There's a remaster coming out. I bet you anything. Well, guess what? The Last Remnant Remastered is coming to the West on December 6th.
Yeah, that makes because I remember it's getting delisted. I'm like, there's 2 reasons why it gets delisted. One, there is some license that ran out, or they want to re-release it. And here we are.
There, we re-released it, and now. Are you thinking about it?
I actually am thinking about it. You know what's really weird? December is getting really packed. There are a lot of games coming out in December. I mean, obviously we have Smash, but then there's a lot of these remaster games that are coming out late December.
God, there's so many. And late January.
Dude, January is getting insane.
I know. More on that later, but jeez, so much.
It's getting ridiculous. I am super curious. So apparently the way the battle system works, it's like... I'm trying to think of a game that does this. I think Grandia or Lunar does this. It's like a game where you input all your attacks ahead of time, and then they all go at once. Like,
so you could miss that and stuff like that. There's only one game, so like you could like, it's like a strategy game, right? You're thinking,
kind of, yeah.
And you pick where you're gonna go, and then you say you want to attack at this place. So you have to guess if the enemy's gonna be there, right? Is that what you're talking about? Because there's only one game that I know that does that, and that's Vandal Hearts 2.
I don't think it's quite like that. I think it's turn-based, but I think you input all your attacks at once instead of person by person.
Oh, yeah. Now Grandia is not like that.
Okay, but anyway, yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of those relics from the PS3 era that I think nobody played, so maybe they're giving it a second shot. Square Enix is doing this with a lot of games. I'm curious if they're just trying to get easy money or if they're testing the waters for something.
They're doing it with a lot of games, except one.
Okay, so let's talk about this. We didn't talk about it when we... So I saw the memes. I know everybody's like, where's Final Fantasy VIII? I actually read something. I don't know how true this is anymore, but apparently Square lost the source code to Final Fantasy VIII.
But there's already a port of it.
Yeah, I know that. There's a PC port. So I don't know if they like redid it or something, but somebody said they lost the source code to Final Fantasy VIII. But I feel like... How do you remaster Crystal Chronicles for consoles before Final Fantasy Tactics?
Yep.
Like, say what you want. I think Final Fantasy Tactics is one of the best Final Fantasy games and one of the best strategy RPG games. And I know you got to re-release on PSP and you can play it on Vita, and I know it has a phone port, but like put it on PC so people can mod the crap out of it and put like really weird characters in there and put it on console.
I mean, they mod the crap out of the PS1 version, so imagine just being able to do that on the PC.
Yeah, I remember like looking up some emulators where like Solid Snake and Link and stuff are in it, like back in the day. But like, do it legit. I would totally rebuy it on Switch or PS4 or whatever. Dude, trophies for Tactics? Are you kidding? That'd be awesome. And like throw in some new characters, like throw in Noctis, whatever. Who cares? Do whatever you need to do.
Return of the War of the Lions.
Return of the War of the Lions, and then make a sequel. Let's just do it, Square. Let's make it happen.
Make it gauge the interests of a Final Fantasy Tactics game, and then make a sequel. Exactly. Or make a new Final Fantasy Tactics. It could be. I know you're not going to like this, but Advance it could be like Advance if you really want to. But I would rather have it be like this one.
Yeah.
Have it set before during the cataclysmic event that happens that destroys the old technology, like the airships and stuff like that.
So Advance is before that, right? Because it's got all the like the lizard people and stuff.
Yeah, and it has the tech. I think it's a different Ivalice, but it's set like with the airships and all that stuff.
Speaking of that, you know what game I really want to play is Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings. It's a strategy RPG with the Final Fantasy XII characters on DS.
I think Connor has that.
Yeah, I remember Connor talking about that, and I heard it's not bad. I want to check that out at some point.
We should ask Connor about it. I think he has it, or he wanted to play it. I don't remember if he started it.
I very specifically remember him talking about it on the podcast at some point. So,
but yeah, that's what they need to do. So hopefully that this is coming.
I'm hoping.
Because they are releasing a bunch of ports.
They sure are.
And remasters, so...
I mean, those are easy money, especially on Switch. I guarantee you, as soon as those all go up, they're all going to go to the top of the charts. People are going to buy the crap out of it. It's like, yeah, let me buy Final Fantasy VII for like the 10th time.
All right.
Anyway.
So that's good news right there. Mm-hmm. Here's more good news. All right.
No,
we're not going there yet. That's later. Yeah. They finally did it. They finally announced the new Tales game.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's called Tales of Crestoria, and it's coming to smartphones.
I'm surprised it didn't end with Seria. There was Zesteria, Berseria.
No, it is Crestoria.
That's Oria, not Area.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
It's yeah.
Should have been Cresteria then.
Crestoria. Mm-hmm. But if you look at I don't know if you looked at the ads for it. Mm-hmm. It looks like freaking the beginning of Persona 5. It's like Crestoria, and they look like they're like on wanted posters and everything like that. It's really weird. Live, even if it's a crime. So is it like a crime thing?
I don't know.
But it's a different. It's a freaking mobile game, all right. So you know what to expect.
Yeah, keep your expectations.
It's crazy.
But they're doing a lot with Tales. So I think the next story, if it is what I think it is.
No, not yet.
Okay.
The next story is Vesperia Definitive Edition finally has a release date, which is January 11th, 2019.
That's cool.
And if you want a collector's edition, it's out on the Bandai Namco store.
Yeah, and it comes with a steelbook with repeat, I believe.
Yes, and soundtrack and all that stuff.
Very cool. Very cool.
So, finally, we get to play that 10 days before, or 15 days before freaking Kingdom Hearts 3. That's awesome.
Yeah, we got Onimusha HD, and then we got Vesperia, and then Resident Evil 2, and then Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, guys. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about Resident Evil 2. You could beat that in like a week. Probably like 2 days.
I know, that game's probably going to be like 15 hours long.
Yeah,
it'll be short.
It'll be fine. This is probably the news that you're talking about.
Yes.
All right, so God Eater General producer Yosuke Tomizawa takes over as the Tales series producer.
So if
No,
what?
like there's this interview, right? This is
Okay.
cool, but there's this interview and there's some highlights that I want to talk about.
Yeah,
and
just
this
read
is the
them.
one highlight that I'm like,
Right? Nick has the hope.
all right. It says we are planning on remasters and remakes for the Tales of series based on what's being requested. And you know what's being requested? Tales of Destiny.
Is it?
Yes.
Besides you?
Remember on E3, everyone was like, Bandai Namco's like, what remaster do you want to see? And everyone was like, a lot of people were saying Tales of Destiny.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, there's a chance.
So
You're
you're
telling me there's a chance.
I would genuinely love to play the remake and the actual Tales of
Yeah,
Destiny
the
2.
actual Tales of Destiny 2.
That'd be amazing. I mean, those are basically brand new games for us.
They're brand new games for us, and if they're remastered, that means it's going to be widescreen. The sprites will be looking better.
I'll run at 60 frames.
It runs at
probably.
60 frames, and they're two 2D Tales games. I was replaying. I had a couple streams of me playing Tales of Destiny Remake, and it's still. And right now, I'm like, this battle system is freaking amazing.
Nice.
It needs to come to the West. People would love it. And I was playing on I told you this before. I was playing on evil difficulty.
Yeah.
And that's like, if you mess up, you're fucking dead.
Yeah.
It's still fun. I love being able to create combos with my moves, the combo counter and everything like that. The only game that you played with the combo counter is Tales
Destiny?
Tales of Grace's F. That has a combo counter.
That's true.
So that's the type of system it is. It's like you do combos with.
Do you get anything special for getting certain amounts of combos? Like, if you get like
There
100?
is so much new. I don't even. This is the right word. Nuance.
Yeah.
So it's nuance to that battle system that I haven't even know because it's in Japanese.
Oh.
Where like you could do moves where like, if you do this one attack right at the end of your combo counter, you'll regain your entire combo counter gauge, and you have like accessories. If you press down and square, you'll be like power up, and you get like attack plus and stuff like that. There's so much stuff you could do in this game, and I can't scratch. I can only scratch the surface. I can't deep dive into it because it's only in Japanese.
I will say there is a like that era of gaming where it was like, we don't know if we should do pixel art, if we should do 3D. There, like that Tales remake has like a really particular art style that looks really, really cool, and like very few games did it right like that. And I would love to see that in HD. It looks really nice. I remember you showed me the end of the game where they all go back to that cottage. I'm like, oh, this looks so awesome.
Yes, it looks really. It's so good. It's good because the sprites, like every sprite is animated. Like simple animations or simple like gestures are animated. You know, in normal or old RPGs, there's like, and then it'll like emoticons above them, right?
Yeah.
But this is like they're actually animated. It's so good. And then the skits are all animated. And everything about that game is just great. But even if it is a thing and it doesn't come to the West, which is crazy, Namco, Bandai Bandai, whatever, same thing.
Yeah.
I would still import it because I would no longer have to use my stupid PS2 for
If they remake it, we're getting it. Like there are very few games that don't get here.
Yeah.
It has to be like an Omega Labyrinth Z or whatever those like.
That's coming. Oh yeah.
We get the Senran Kagura Touch game. I mean, come on. Like if they remake Tales of Destiny, we're gonna get it. Or if they remaster it, I should say.
And if they don't want to spend a lot of money, don't dub it.
Yeah, don't dub it. It's
you don't
fine.
need the dub it. Just have it subbed and we fine.
Yeah, I mean, Tokyo Xanadu didn't get dubbed and it was great.
It was great. Yeah, it was great. And it's like, if you just add a little subs, when during the victory screens and stuff like that, because you have no idea. No, there's like little scenes. They do the typical things like the new Tales games do, where the characters interact.
Yeah.
Tawazawa will take on a role as a new producer in charge of console development, including the new title that was announced during the Tales Festival 2018. What was that new title?
That was just, remember they
it's like, we are working on a new Tales game. It's like, we didn't know that.
Thanks. Yeah.
For now, the focus is to release one console game, which hasn't been done in a while, which is weird wording, but I think it means that they're focusing on the big console release, since there hasn't been a new Tales game in like 3 years in Japan. Because Vesperia came out in 2016. It's maybe 2015 in Japan.
Yeah.
Let me see. So they just haven't.
Yeah, that is weirdly worded, but I think that also means that, like you said, they're gonna let it cook a little longer. So
yeah, it's 2016, so probably gonna get it in 2019.
So that will have been 3 years.
3 years.
I mean, typically Tales have been like every 2 years,
every year,
or every other year. Yeah.
So they're probably finally getting rid of that stupid PS3 engine, and they're gonna make a new one.
Yeah, I mean, none of them had been built from the ground up with PS4 in mind. They've all been like upported, because like Vesperia ran at 60 frames, but I think that all that says is like there's not much going on for it to run that well. So I would almost prefer it for the exploration to be 30, but have it be more detailed and have the combat be 60 frames. That's usually how the old games did it.
You think I'm crazy, but you know how you like the art style of Tales of Destiny? I want them to make it like that.
They're not gonna.
I know they're not going to, but what if they're taking so long is because they're drawing sprites for this, and then there's crazy amount of detail.
I think they're trying to just do more systems and build a bigger world. And stuff. That's what I think they're doing. I think if anything, they're gonna go back to the Vesperia art style, because like I know you're not the biggest fan. I think general consensus seems to be that is the best looking Tales game.
Just don't go to the game systems of Vesperia. Just make it look like that.
Yeah, I think that looks the best by far.
Just super anime.
Yep.
I just want to get rid. How many games has it been? I think it's been like 5 mothership titles with the same type of style. Graces, Zillia
2,
Zestiria, Zillia 2, and Vesperia all have that same style.
Yeah,
It's like I'm done with it. It's that dumb Destiny Symphonia combination style that they did. I hate it. I don't like it. You're right. Go back to the Abyss Vesperia style.
Yeah. Yep.
Or go back to the Tales of Destiny style.
That would be awesome, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, I'm just saying the art style.
Yeah, so I don't know if you saw this, but the guy that made Owlboy put out a fake trailer for Chrono Break.
Yeah,
and
didn't they do that before? Wasn't it? I've seen that a long time ago. It's called Chrono Break as well.
People, I mean, that they were supposed to make a third one, and for whatever reason they didn't. I don't know the story behind it, but he made his own trailer, and it's all sprite, and it looks amazing. And I'm like, there is a niche out there for super high quality sprite JRPG. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's all platformers. There's no JRPG. Like, how awesome would it be to have an exploration game that looks as good?
That's what I'm saying.
I think that studio is too big to do that. I think there is, like, it has to be like an indie team. Like, what if they did that? What if they like hired an indie team to do that? I mean, like what they're doing with the Hyperdimension Neptunia, the Super RPG or whatever. That's a Western studio that's making that. Mm-hmm. That's not a Japanese studio. So what if they like hired some Western studio? Like, hey, if you could do this, that'd be kind of cool to go back and forth. Like, do the big 3D one and then have somebody else working on a sprite one. That'd be awesome.
Okay, so Tokyo,
smaller budget.
Yeah. But. So Tokyo Game Show is this week. Mm-hmm. If they announce a new remaster, man, they're not. Okay, I
don't think they will.
They're not going to announce the new one. I know. I bet you anything they're not.
They're gonna wait till the Vesperia remasters out. They try to focus one at a time.
They're gonna maybe. I think they're gonna announce a new remaster, or maybe that Switch exclusive, which is just Tales of Vesperia F.
Yeah, they still haven't put that out yet. Mm-hmm. Whatever that Switch thing is.
Don't know. Maybe we'll see it in Tokyo Game Show. He says, I am not working directly on Toria, so he's not working on the mobile game. It is being planned as an entry point title to the series with a completely new and original story that is different from the all-star kind of game. Okay. So it's a unique story, and it doesn't have like all the other Tales games in it at once. You know how like all the other mobile games and the Tales of the World games. So that's interesting. I wonder if the West is going to get it. On Tomazawa's Structure. I can't say anything about it now, but I've been working on it quietly from the start. So I guess Structure, like how they're going to structure the games, I guess?
Maybe, or maybe how he structures the development of things. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
That could mean a couple things.
And then it says the development is being handled by Bandai Namco Studio. It has a reliable members who helped build the series. So it's still Namco doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, I'm also working on other titles.
Cool. I mean, that sounds like good news for Tales fans. Like, the fact that they're, like, openly acknowledging that they're going to do remakes and remasters is pretty cool. I mean, like, I feel like all that's left is Destiny, because, like, what are they going to do? Like, remake?
Oh, no, there's a bunch of games that they could send out. They could do Rebirth again. Rebirth. Oh, man.
Did we not? We didn't get that one, did we?
No, we didn't. I'm blanking
Innocence,
right now. I know we got Innocence. We got Tales of Tempest.
I don't think we got Innocence.
No, we didn't get Innocence.
Yeah.
So Tales of Innocence is a DS game. Tales of the Tempest is also a DS game. We didn't get those because they're 2D, and they didn't bring 2D over for some reason back in the day. They only brought the 3D ones. And I think that's it, really. So
if they did a remake, I feel like the only like true remake would be like Fantasia because it's so old.
They've done multiple remakes of Fantasia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well.
Maybe they'll bring those weird third-party ones that they haven't, like Fantasia X, Nariki Dungeon. Like they're the PSP games. And then maybe we'll actually get the Fantasia remake, because we never got that in the West.
So many options.
There is a lot of options. The remakes, though, they have never remaked a game, and only Destiny and Fantasia have got remakes. They have never done a remake for anything else.
Time for that Symphonia remake. Let's go.
I can see it. I could totally see it. I wouldn't want it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care, guys. It'll be cool to see what they'll do. They're gonna make it like Vesperia battle system and everything, and everyone's gonna be like, hate it. But I would really like to see, and we're going on Tales because I love Tales.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see us, the West, to get a Fantasia remake, and then
like a ground up or a remaster of one of the remakes.
Yeah, remaster of the. Maybe just bring out like an HD remaster of the PSP remake. Because the PSP was it the PSP? Yes, it was PSP. PSP got Rebirth remake. Got Rebirth ported to it. It got Destiny 2 ported to it, and I think it got a bunch of. I got Fantasia ported to it, and then three Tales of the World games.
Jeez.
Tales of the Versus, Tales of Eternia. A lot of Tales games came out on that system. We got like 3 of them.
Wow.
Just take my heart already.
Dead.
Just gone. Now I'm heartless. But yeah, that's good news. I can't wait to see what it is. They'll be like, oh, we're closing down Tales Studio.
For them to be having these many projects in the works, I think it's probably fine.
A Tales of fighting game made by Arc System Works. Do it. All right, we still have the freaking.
There's a lot. I mean, we barely got to any of the big direct news.
Did we? Oh yeah,
I totally Fantasy, but there's a couple others.
I totally forgot about one to write it down. But Square Enix and Studio Estolia's Project Prelude Rune announced for PS4. Everyone was like, "What is this? Huh? What is this?" And it was just a running cycle that everyone was like, ugh.
Yeah.
But the game looked pretty. The game is
so. For anybody that remembers, the old Tales series producer Deo Baba left to start. So this is his studio. This is like during the Zillia era. So they just opened a brand new studio, which is cool. So I'm wondering if they're just trying to make their own Tales style games, basically like cool. Super anime action combat. I mean that trailer showed us basically nothing, but
just showed like, hey, we're making stuff. That happened a lot in that weird lineup Pro Tour thing.
It did.
They showed like some game, no title at all, and then goes to the next trailer. There were a couple like JRPG looking games that I did not like. There's no titles for in that.
Yeah, I will say. So I've been pretty critical of Tokyo Game Show. Like the last, I would say 3 or 4 years, it's been like you could just not pay attention and you wouldn't miss anything. This has been the best Tokyo Game Show in a long time. Yeah,
I'm telling you. As I said before, it started getting better last year. But since Japan's gaming industry started booming again because they started making console games, it started being good again. And I was like, sweet, all these games are coming out and they're looking good.
You know who I think we need to start watching out for who could be a potential big player is Cygames. Now, they're obviously best known for Grand Blue Fantasy on mobile.
You're right. They announced some weird thing that it looked like a
Project Awakening.
Yeah, it looked like a Dark Souls Monster Hunter.
Apparently, so I was kind of reading more into it. Apparently, that was announced a while ago, but that was the first I ever saw gameplay of it. That might have gotten announced alongside that the Grand Blue Project Relink or whatever that Platinum game is. I'm surprised they didn't show that. So
Everyone thought it was that, and then I'm like, this looks too realistic.
It's not like anime enough. But I will say they're having a Grand Blue Festival at the end of the year, and I'm almost positive they're going to announce a release date for that Platinum game. And then they said it's coming in the West, but they have not announced a release date, obviously, for anything. But that game looks too high budget for it not to come out in the West. Yeah. So we'll get that at some point.
So Taylor,
Nick,
people have been wondering what this is on your back.
Have they been wondering?
Yeah,
this is a little cloth thing for Ease 8 Lacrimosa of Donna, and this is Adol and Donna just hanging out. So Maddie used to don the Tales of Berseria blanket, so now I guess I have to carry on the blanket tradition with this.
With that, because of your Mr. Speedrunner?
Yeah, I'm still trying to get under 2 hours for a speed run. Been away from home, and I haven't speed run in better part of a month, so once I get back, I'll have to
try it out.
Yeah, well, the guy that holds the second place world record was going to help train me, but then I had to move and pack and stuff, and so when I get back, I'm going to try to get back in touch with him. But I'm trying to get under 2 hours. I want to say my time is like 2 hours and like 15 minutes or something like that. So there's some time to shave. I have a couple tricks that'll save me some time, hopefully, next time I do a run. But yeah, it's fun.
One from the Direct. I forgot to put this. We're moving on.
Yeah.
From the Direct, Town from Game Freak.
Yeah.
Which is they're making a JRPG like game. It's not Pokemon.
Yeah.
People are like, this is what the new Pokemon's going to look like.
No.
And I'm like,
this is way too stylized to be Pokemon.
No. It's not new. It's not Pokemon, but that's what the Switch version's going to look like, probably.
No.
So I don't know. But yeah, it's like apparently it's this RPG that takes place in this town, and it's only in that town.
Yeah, and like you fight off monsters and stuff. It's got a cool art style. It said it's coming next year, so it looks neat. I want to know more about it.
Yeah, me too. It's called Town.
That's it. It's just Town.
So it's something to look forward to. Other thing to look forward to is the new Xenoblade expansion.
Yeah, that comes by the time. Will that be out by the time this episode goes out?
No,
that comes out on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, people are liking it. $40. I think it's probably.
I mean, people could play it right now if they bought the expansion.
Oh, that's
pass.
right. Yeah, if you have the season pass, you can get it early. I forgot about that.
So it's like, buy the season pass, you get it early. I'm like, I don't care. I'm getting it anyway.
You want the box?
I'm getting the box.
Box.
In case you guys are wondering, there's a lot of manga in here.
Yep.
We just wanted to weave up our table a little more.
So this isn't a JRPG per se, but there was a new Animal Crossing that people have been like asking for forever, and I'm like, it's like a weirder Harvest Moon to me, is what it looks like. I don't really understand.
It has that. I think it has that Harvest Moon hook to it.
Yeah,
but it's not like Harvest Moon
because you're like it's more of a town manager than like a farm manager.
Yeah,
right?
you just like pick up trash and talk to people and catch bugs, and I don't know. A lot of people love it. I just never got into it.
I think the thing I never liked was the weird art style. Like everybody's like a weird looking animal, and like the villager, like your character, like none of them look
appealing.
Yeah, they all look really weird. So that's kind of why I've never been into it. I always say this, that I might give it a try, and then I never do. Who am I going to? I am not giving this Animal Crossing a try. I'm not going to play it. Okay,
I'm not going to do it.
Nope. I'm just going to say that right now. I will play that Fire Emblem. 3 Houses. It's coming at Switch.
I was like, that wasn't shown at the Direct.
It wasn't. I was mad. I wasn't mad. I was just sort of like, why? Against an Animal Crossing?
But hey, they're releasing a port for the Superstar Saga Inside Bowser's Story
on 3DS.
On 3DS. There's a lot of 3DS games announced,
but no Persona Q2 or Etrian Odyssey Nexus. Feels bad, man.
Feels bad. Is there any other news? I'm drawing a blank.
JRPG wise, I feel like there's like one other thing that we're missing. Oh, there's gonna be a remaster for Resonance of Fate.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a trademark filing for Resonance of Fate for PC and PS4. Seems like they're just like, F it, let's just remaster everything and just see what sticks. And that was a Sega game, I think. I think Sega published that.
I think so.
And that was made by Tri-Ace, who is also set to announce a new game at TGS. So,
oh, guys,
that's it. Resonance of Fate 2. Here we go.
Nope. Star Ocean 6. Another Star Ocean's coming.
Dude, Star Ocean 5 was such trash. There's no way.
They're going back to their roots. Star Ocean is a sprite-based game. Do it.
No, it's going to be Resonance of Fate 2. I'm calling it now, guys. Because they're remastering Resonance of Fate, they're going to do a sequel. I'm calling it right now. So next week, when they announce Resonance of Fate 2, I'll be like, I called it.
What if it's like, what if it is Star Ocean 6?
I would be shocked. 5 was terrible. And it didn't sell very. There were certain elements of it that were terrible.
Yeah.
It clearly didn't have the budget it required.
So dial back the looks and make it a sprite-based game. Do it.
Do it.
But yeah, a lot of remasters. What's next? What's going to be remastered next? This one.
This one?
Xenoblade Chronicles remastered.
First one? Xenosaga. There has been rumors for Xenosaga remaster for a long time. So I think that might be next. I'm trying to think of like the PS3 era, like all those weird games that like didn't get enough love. Like I'm almost wondering if those Xbox
Final Fantasy 13 remastered.
I'm shocked they have not remastered those for like PS4. That whole trilogy.
You know why? It's because they know people do not like them.
People hate that shit. No, I wouldn't be surprised if they did like all the Mistwalker games got remasters, like Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon, stuff like that.
I could totally see that.
Those were published by
made them?
That was Mistwalker.
Okay, I mean,
That was Microsoft that published those. So that would be only on Xbox, which would kind of suck.
That would be on PC then.
Oh, there you go. Play it on PC.
There you go.
Maybe a Last Story remaster, although Last Story wasn't that great. Yep. Nick still hasn't even opened it.
Not opened.
I still think it's hilarious that the creator of Final Fantasy made a game series called The Last Story. It's pretty funny. Eternal Sonata. It's coming.
Oh, it is coming.
Oh God, there's got to be like another. You know what? I'm actually genuinely shocked they didn't remaster Ninokuni, the original Ninokuni for PS4.
I can totally see that.
Because that was ripe for, like, to get people hyped for the sequel. Final. Oh, I see what you're doing.
The closing tale.
You know what's really funny? When I did my Last Story review on my channel, I like did this little troll bit at the end, and I'm like, I can't wait for the next story conclusive tale. And everybody, I remember somebody in the comments was like, "Hey, I tried to look up conclusive tale, but I couldn't find it." I'm like, really? You didn't get the joke?
The concluding epic.
Oh shit. Anyway, look at that. I can't
so
think of a more like that's gonna be the biggest news week for a long time.
Which one next week?
Today. Well, next week maybe if there's stuff announced at Tokyo Game Show. But we had a direct and.
Oh, are you talking about? Oh, I think next week's gonna be pretty huge.
You know what? I was disappointed they did not announce a remaster of Tokyo Mirage Sessions. That's the one thing Wii U game that we still don't have. They announced.
Well, you see this trend of remasters and remakes. It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Well, because they announced a new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. What? I'm like, really? You're gonna port that crap, and you're not gonna port Tokyo Mirage Sessions?
Of course, they're gonna port that crap. They're like, we don't need to make a new new Mario Brothers. We just port the old one.
It's fine.
That no one played.
Actually, a lot of people played that.
I know,
people
but
like
no, that's why they ported it because like, oh, it's on the Wii U. No one had the Wii U, so now a lot more people can play it.
It's actually the best-selling Wii U game of all time, Nick.
That's not much because nothing's sold on the Wii
U. Okay. All right. I think that's all the news. Finally.
Oh man, what my head hurts. No, it really does hurt. What have you? Let's Taylor,
Nick.
Let's get this over with.
Let's get it over with.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've made an ultimatum.
I made an ultimatum.
You're like, that's it. I'm not playing any more classic JRPGs.
Yeah, they're all trash.
Explain yourself.
Explain myself?
Yeah.
They're just
for everyone
slow
else.
and okay. So I beat Chrono Cross. and I was like, you know, I didn't really have a lot of fun playing that game, but I was really happy to have finally beat it and cross it off my list. And so I looked at my other backlog games. I'm like, the only game on the Super Nintendo that I still have in my backlog was Final Fantasy VI. And I'm like, you know what? Let's boot this up. Let's play this. Let's knock it out because it's not as long. And I put about 4 hours in, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I just can't do this crap.
I think
the high encounter rate was driving me nuts.
I think you spent like the first 10 minutes. You're like, I can't take this anymore.
No, I mean, I played for 4 hours.
I know you did, but like you started complaining right at the beginning of the game. It was really funny. And I'm like, welcome to SNES JRPGs.
Yeah, that's. I think I've reached my limit. Like there are certain games that I know I can go back to. Like I feel like if I went back and played Tales of Destiny, I feel like that's pretty playable. Like the combat is fast and fun. You know,
it's still cryptic, so you better remember where to go.
No, I'll just play with a guide. It's fine.
Like that PSM right there.
Yep, exactly. But like anything with turn-based battles that was out in the Super Nintendo era, or even like the early to mid PS1 era, it's just so slow and boring. Like nothing. If you don't have like a unique battle system, then it's just, I don't know. It's just not that fun.
So let's make this is Taylor. This is Taylor's taste. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean the game's bad. It's just Taylor's take on stuff.
Oh, it's bad.
And
no, I'm just kidding. I know it's. See, that's the part that like I really want to force myself, but then at some point I'm like. But then I could be spending that time playing something else that I actually enjoy. Like, that's my argument. I know we had this discussion offline, and you're like, oh, well, if you really want to, like, talk about saving time, then you should get off your phone. But, like, my point is, for game time, I feel like I'm wasting my game time playing something I hate. I'd rather play something fun, or something that I find more fun. So, I bought Dead Cells, and I've been playing Dead Cells, and it's really fun. So
that's a Taylor game.
That is a Taylor game.
But, yeah, Taylor's... we have to make an addendum
or something.
Yeah. This is Taylor's opinion.
Yeah,
Taylor's opinion is, if you guys don't know, if you're new,
I have unique taste.
Is very unique. Taylor does not make sense.
Nope.
So
Can't pin
he doesn't like old games, even though he plays new games that do the same thing. So it just doesn't make sense. It's just him.
Mm-hmm.
He'll in about 6 months he'll start playing classic JRPGs again, and this whole thing will happen again. He'll be like, can't play this anymore.
I know.
But then he's like, I gotta play this again, and then it's just gonna be a big loop. Watch.
Yep.
Next year, this time he's gonna be playing like Jade Cocoon or something, and he'd be like, oh, this game is so slow. I can't believe I'm playing this.
Well, I know. That's why I was trying to like stay in the mood because I beat Chrono Cross and that game's pretty slow, just comparatively. Like it takes a while for things to load and stuff like that. So I was like, maybe it's finally time to go back to 6. Because you know what's really funny is I've tried to play 6 before, and I remember I got pretty far. I got like 10 or 12 hours in, and then for whatever reason I stopped. And I remember enjoying it back then, and now I'm like, oh, why don't I like this? And it was the PS1 version too, so I don't know. Persona 5 ruined everything.
I think you're gonna have like a changing moment in life, and then you're gonna realize that, oh, I like these games again.
I hope so.
I think that's gonna.
I would like to like those
I have a
games.
feeling that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen soon. It's gonna happen once your business like takes off,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have to worry about things that much anymore. You're gonna be like, I like these games again, so you don't feel like you're wasting your time anymore.
Yeah. Well, you know what when I put my Vita down, I was like, I'm gonna close the game and delete it. I'm like, let's not go that far. Let's just leave it. Maybe I'll come back to this. But I in the moment, I was not having a good time. So
that's what happened to me. Remember, I was like, I play JRPGs. I play like the first an hour and a half. Okay, I'm done.
Yep.
And then I don't know what happened. Girls probably. And then I'm like, I want to play JRPGs and I want to finish them all now, and I really like them.
Yep.
I was during the apartment era. I didn't play that many JRPGs. I played a lot of 3DS games. Remember that?
True. Yeah, a lot of Rune Factory. You like destroyed Rune Factory 4.
Rune Factory was amazing. It still is amazing. Play Rune Factory 3 or 4. Not 2 and not 1.
Tides of Destiny's not bad.
Oh, if you want to play
PS3.
handheld, I would say.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, like I went back to 2, and it's so archaic and clunky because 3 and 4 have so many quality of life changes. It was really hard to get back to 2, but it was like I don't know how far I got.
Wait.
But
Let's just take a moment to dissect what just happened here. So Nick was talking about playing a new game, had quality of life choices, went back to an old version, and it was just too hard to go back to. Weird.
No, I was playing it.
What
are you talking about? I was beating it, but it was also during
But then
apartment
you had to
age.
put it down because it was too old and clunky. The new games are doing it better.
No, I put it down because I think a new game came out, and I think it was Minecraft on the PS4. I think the PS4 came out.
Wow.
That's what happened.
Yeah. But we'll see. I mean, I did get really frustrated. I don't know if... Because I was talking... Kimpy was even saying, he's like, yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I played Final Fantasy VI on an emulator on my computer where I could just fast forward through all that stuff. Like, that's what makes some of those old RPGs bearable. And I know you hate that crap, but that was the only way I was going to beat Final Fantasy IX. Because that was another game. So 9 and Chrono Cross were 2 games that were just on my backlog like forever. And I beat 9 earlier this year with the speed up stuff on PS4. And then Chrono Cross, I just beat it the OG way.
you bit the bullet and went for it, and I was proud of you.
And it was torture. Like I said, that took me 28 hours to beat that game.
That's
and
so
only,
short.
Dude, it's pretty long, man. That's a long game. I mean, I know like Persona 5's 100 hours, but that's like the top of the scale. That's like as long as anything is ever gonna get. Mm-hmm. And then like, and you gotta also keep in mind that you also take way longer to play games than me.
I do.
Like I remember you said, "Oh yeah, I changed back from links and I played another 20 hours and I still didn't beat it." I don't know what the hell you were doing for 20 hours because like I changed back from links and I think I beat the game within like 5 hours.
I don't know.
And I did all the side stuff. I got the best weapon for Surge. I got the Chrono Cross, and I recruited a bunch of more characters. So I don't know what you were doing.
I don't know what I was doing either. I don't remember my save at all. I don't remember where I was. I remember seeing Chrono and all as kids, those guys as kids.
Yeah.
And I remember coming out and remember fighting some dragons. Then I just don't remember after that.
Interesting.
Yeah. That was also when I was. When did I play that? It was. I think I started it at the apartment, and then I moved back here, and I think I stopped.
Yeah, it's odd how long in that game your links in that game. I would say within 5 or 6 hours, no, maybe like 8 hours, you go your links, and then you don't change back until almost the end of the game.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
But did you get? No, I don't want to.
But there is a revelation at the end of the game. I'm like, oh my god,
this made it worth it a little bit.
A little bit, but not entirely. But anyway, I mean, there are still some JRPGs, some old ones that I really would like to beat.
I remember you told me, it's like, I'm not playing Xenogears. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Xenogears is pretty good. I could talk about it. I'll talk about it to you. I'll talk about it when I talk about what I've been playing.
So here are, from PS1 and older, here are the games I still want to beat JRPG-wise. So Final Fantasy VI. Tales of Destiny. I think Tales of Destiny is going to be much more playable for me.
By the way, Taylor, do not get rid of that game.
Oh my god.
Do not sell it.
I'm not. I know that game is pretty expensive. And the only reason I would sell other games is you can buy them on like Vita and stuff.
Yeah, you have Tales of Destiny too, don't you? You have both?
Not just one.
Okay. I thought you had
I never had Eternia.
But you do have Lunar and Lunar 2.
Yeah, I haven't sold those. I probably will not.
Yeah, keep those.
Because those are like big collector's items.
The only one that I'm mad that you sold is Valkyrie Profile.
Oh my god.
Can't believe you sold that.
Yeah, Lunar 2, Xenogears, Suikoden 2. Those are the
Ben's playing Suikoden 2 right now.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen him stream that. But yeah, I completely finished PS3. There's like no more PS3 JRPGs I want to play
except for the ones that are being remastered.
I mean, like in my backlog. So when I made this backlog, this was like games that haunted me or games I've wanted to play for so long, and those games I didn't even remember or care about. But like the 3 I had were Grace's F, Valkyria Chronicles, and Final Fantasy 13.
Got all
and Valkyria Chronicles is by far the best of those games. It's like not even close. But PS2, there's a lot of games also that I started and never beat.
You also beat Xillia 2, but not Xillia 1.
No, I beat Zillion 1.
Did you?
Yep. I remember I definitely
Yeah,
seen the end of that
you're
game.
right. You beat it as Jude. I remember.
Yep. But on PS2, like Dark Cloud, I've started that game a couple times, never finished
You
it.
got really far in Dark Cloud 1. I remember you were in like the 3rd or 4th town.
Yeah, it's the seaside town where you have to like go on the submarine and go like underwater. I forget, like I was in some... So the way that game works is almost like a Metroidvania because you unlock new characters that have special abilities. And there was this one dungeon I just like could not figure out like whose ability do I use where. I need to look up a guide or something. But Rogue Galaxy looks awesome. Like
also,
every time I've seen that game, it looks sick.
Would you go, since I have it right there, would you try Dark Cloud 2?
Yeah, I'll play both of them. I think
apparently that's one's way different.
Yeah, it's more alchemy based than like town building. This one I'm hung up on, and I really don't know what to do about it, and that's Dragon Quest VIII. Because that game is extremely grindy. It has a speed up mechanic, but it still doesn't help. Like, you have to grind a lot in that game.
Oh, for the 3DS.
Run 3DS, yeah. And I don't mind the bad music, and it looks worse and stuff like that. It's fine. But it's just that game is super grindy. Like, I get to a boss, and I just get destroyed. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going to have to just keep grinding. And I remember Kimpy was like, I didn't grind once in that game. Like, that is a lie.
A lot of people said that.
That's a lie. There's no way. The first boss, you go to that octopus boss in the cave, he'll destroy you if you don't grind.
I don't remember.
But then Abyss, Okami, and Harvest Moon saved the homeland.
Abyss? Tales of the Abyss?
Yep, never beat Abyss.
That one was long. If I recall, I think it was like 90 hours. I think that was not new Nick play. That was old Nick play. So I'm not 100%.
So it's like a 60-hour game for me.
Maybe. Well, I'm saying that's old Nick. So that's just going through the story, not doing any extra stuff.
I don't know.
I just remember it being long. I don't know.
It
People
was long.
people comment below if that was a long Tales game, because I remember it going on and on and on. I was like, oh, I'm finally at the final. Oh wait, no, I have like another dungeon to do. And...
Let's go to the trusty how long to beat.
Okay.
How long to beat?
Tales of the Abyss.
God dang it.
Tales of the Abyss, not Tales of Abyss.
Tales of the Abyss.
The only Tales game with a "the" in it.
Let's see here. It says 50 hours.
It's a long game.
So if this is the PS2 version,
Yeah, same thing.
and then okay, so PS2 52 hours, and then the 3DS version is 50 hours. So
I mean, it's the same game, so I don't know why they would be different.
well, I think it would be like people replaying the game, so you know how to do it, and they'd go through it quicker. I've noticed that sometimes. But anyway, I also go through games quicker if I'm just like trying to knock it off a list.
You do.
But I also
you make
cheese things like Valkyrie Chronicles.
No, you get. It's like I must beat this game. So story moment. Looks at phone while it's just pressing the button, and then he goes on the podcast. It's like, man, I didn't really connect to these characters. I don't know what happens. It's like, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I know a lot of people. He doesn't like the characters in Cold Steel 1. He doesn't have any memorable things. And I'm like, what?
Of all the games, that is the one I'm willing to give a second chance, especially after having beat Ys 8 like a million times and Xanadu. I want to go back. Like if they ever do the Kai version, or if they don't,
I think you just get the PC version.
Yeah, that might be what I have to do. Because I think the Vita is like the worst way to play that game.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's not bad, but the PC version is like...
It runs way better. You can zoom the field of view out. Yeah,
it has the speed up, which Taylor loves.
You know, the combat, I don't even know if I'd use the speed up.
No, just when you're running. I use it when I'm running thing. I'm going to speed it up and run really fast. So,
interesting.
Since I know how to... I already know the game, so I don't mind doing the speed up thing.
Do they have that in Sky also?
Yep.
In Sky
on
too?
PC one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I might want to replay that.
And you could also skip your S-crafts as well. I don't think you could do that in the PSP version.
Probably not. But yeah, that I want to go back and finish the Sky series too, because I played that when it originally came out on PSP in like 2010, and I was like, that cliffhanger though.
So you still remember the cliffhanger?
Oh, of course, yeah. Okay. That's all I don't remember most of the game. I don't remember what you do in that game or what happens. I just remember the cliffhanger.
I think that game, that entire beginning story, doesn't even matter really.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It sets up the enforcers a little, and but it's like, oh man, I forgot. It was just like, oh, you're becoming a junior bracer pretty much.
Yep.
Or you're trying to become a full-fledged bracer, and you do at the end. Oh, and then yeah, I forgot that. You remember the final part, like the coup and all that, and that's important, and then all the stuff that happens in that part's important, and then the big cliffhanger.
Yep.
And then the second part just continues that.
I remember watching Maddie play third. Like, it seems like that's like all different characters or something weird.
The third is you play as Kevin, which he's a character you learn about in the second.
That's interesting.
It's Tales of the Sky the third is a story about Kevin. All right, it's a story about him, but it has a lot of lore bits based on every character, pretty much.
So I remember there's like some part with a bunch of doors or something.
No, you find doors across all the areas you find, and those doors have like backstory, things that happen in the backstory, and you learn about a bunch of characters, and that's the cool thing about the third. Is it's all backstory, it's all world building, and then it prepares you for the next game. It's like it tells you things that happen in Cold Steel, like that are mentioned in Cold Steel 1.
Oh wow!
And you're like, that's what happened. That's pretty cool. So it's really cool. It's if you like lore and world building, it's perfect.
Let me ask you this. This is a Taylor question.
Yep.
So if I play 1 and 2, will I get the full Sky story, or do you need to play 3 to like?
You get Estelle's and Joshua's story.
Oh, they're part of that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, 1 and 2 is pretty much like their story, and then they're also part of the third, but it's still Kevin's story.
How long is 3?
3 is shorter than 2, but it's like 40 hours, 30 hours.
Okay. All right. One of these days,
It's I enjoyed that one a lot. That one was really good.
Cool. Anyway, what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? So I played after the last podcast. I played about a day. On one of my days off, I was like, I'm just gonna play Dragon Quest, and I played a lot of Dragon Quest. I got the boat. I got my own boat, so that's where I'm at.
Nice.
So people who play the game, they know where I'm at now. So I have to go to this place in the Northeast to find this route that I needed. And the game's fun. It's still the same. It's very charming. I like the characters are all right. When I play it, I don't know why, but it makes me feel jolly and happy, like I'm playing an old school JRPG. And it's I don't know why. That's what I feel like when I'm playing it.
Well, it is pretty traditional JRPG.
And it's like I'm back in the day. It's like I'm back when I was 10 and I'm enjoying a classic RPG. That's what it feels like.
Nice. I mean, it's from what I understand, it's pretty straightforward.
Yes,
pretty basic.
It's very, very basic. Okay, so what I've learned is that I like simple story. Like if the stories are simple and they're well done, then they're good. Yeah. I like this or that or Golden Time or Toradora. They're very simple stories, but they're like these are like my favorite stories of my manga stories. They're like,
see, that's what I appreciate as well. Like
Tokyo Xanadu, super simple story. Very like a lot of tropes, but it's well done, and I enjoy. And that's why I liked it. I'm like, it's like this is like, oh, this is your childhood friend. I bet you this is gonna happen. I bet you this is gonna happen. And I'm like, oh, okay, it does happen, but oh, it happened.
I have one problem with the Tokyo Xanadu story, and I think you know what it is.
Childhood friend?
No, you never really find out. If you know what I mean.
About what? I'm trying to think about what you don't find out.
That's too much of a spoiler. I don't want to say it because it
All right.
kind of ruins what doesn't happen, I guess.
Okay. You can tell me after the podcast.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, we do that a lot where we kind of skim over spoilers. But anyway,
sorry.
I see. This is a quote I've heard from Neil Druckmann at Naughty Dog, and I think Ken Levine also from BioShock. Simple stories, complex characters. I think that is way for the best because like sometimes
that's like Sky. Sky's a very simple story, but a very, very good characters.
Because there's a lot of games like Chrono Cross is like this where they get like way up their own ass with the story, and like The end of Chrono Cross is like this giant exposition dump, and it's like, and this happened, and then fate didn't want like time to continue, so there was like a time reversal, and it's like, dude, what are you talking about?
So did Final Fantasy ate it?
Yeah, I was just like, what the fuck are you saying? Sorry, I don't try not to swear, but that was just like a convoluted mess. I'm like, dude, like you lost me. I'm sorry. Like Connor loves that crap because he gets it. He can follow it all, and he like totally understands it.
Like Xenogears.
Like Xenogears is like that, but with Chrono Cross, it was like, why are you making this so complicated? Like, make it simple. I'm with you. I like simple stories because I can follow it and then make the characters interesting. Because it's what the characters do with the situation that makes stories good.
Yeah.
Like that's why I always like Persona, because it's like Persona 4. It's a murder mystery, okay, but then it's all the character drama that makes it good.
Like I like simple stories. I could even go with like for anime. I could even go for simple characters. Just entertain me a little bit.
Yep.
Like it's very very easy. Just don't press my buttons.
Yep.
I don't know what don't I like.
I like everything. Everything's amazing.
I mean, my anime is very like what I watch.
Mm-hmm. I like the cutesy comedy and slice of life and the romantic comedies.
Mm-hmm.
I like the same things.
That's what I like, and then I also like the
like Attack on Titan.
No, that's all right. Like My Hero Academia, Naruto, Dragon Ball. I like those ones.
Yeah, but those all have a sprinkle of comedy in them too, which I think Dragon Ball always finds a good balance of that.
I like ReZero. ReZero looks like it's like, oh, it's just gonna be a happy, funny fantasy anime, and then it just gets really dark, and you're like, okay, never mind, I want to watch this more. I hate this character, but I gotta continue watching.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's weird.
Best girl. There's a lot of best girls in that show.
Let's see. This is good. I'm trying to look for it.
Good listener material right here.
Good listener material. I'm looking through my. So that's you remember, right?
How about a hug? Don't be angry.
Sensei. That's.
I need to rewatch that show. It's a good show.
Should read this. It's structured a little differently, but it's a little different, a little more. That's what I like about. We're not even going to talk about JRPGs. We're going to talk about manga. All right, so that's why I like reading manga, because sometimes there's 2 types of mangas or 3 types of mangas.
4, 5. There's a million.
There's the types that are exactly like the anime, like exactly beat by beat, which is Your Lie in April, which I have, which is not a bad thing. It's just what it is. It is what it is. If you've watched the anime, you pretty much read the manga. It's just cool to get a different perspective. There's some extra scenes and stuff, and then you get ones like Monster Girls and Toradora, which is they add things and they change some character quirks and stuff like that, and it changes it up, and sometimes it makes it way better or makes it better. And same thing with this one. My Youth Romantic Comedy, it totally changes a lot of things. There's stories in the manga that are not even, they're probably in the light novel, but they're not in the anime at all. So it's cool to read those because you're like, oh, I never knew this. This character right here, you remember her? Oh, I don't even know if you watched the anime.
I watched.
She's kind of in the story in the anime. But she's more like a background side character. Yeah. In this, she's more prominent. Yeah, this one, she actually has. You could totally tell that she has a crush on the main character, and it's really funny to see. And it's fun. It's cool to see that. Totally different is Golden Time. Golden Time is like the same story, but everything is like characters are completely different. Story elements are completely gone from the anime. Like in the anime, there's the Ghost Bonri. Remember Ghost Bonri?
Oh yeah.
Not in the manga at all. He's not even a thing. It's.
How does he come to terms with everything then?
He's him, and he's like, okay, that's. It's all in his mind. There's no like character of Ghost Bonri.
Well, I know it's in his mind, but I'm thinking maybe that was their way to visually represent what was happening.
They did it so much better in this. Okay. Bonri actually has character.
He's not just.
He's not like a blank state. Like I lost my memories. This one, he's still the same guy. He's still Bonri, so he's very silly and he's very outgoing and like immature sometimes.
Yeah.
So he's like, but he just doesn't remember his past. So he's still he's silly in this one. He's fun to read about. Kaga Coco is not crazy.
Yeah.
And she's not, and it doesn't focus on her and like it does in the anime. She's just a character in Bonri's story. Like in the anime,
But they still like go out and
of
stuff?
course, that's the thing.
Yeah.
The story, like in the anime, it kind of focuses on Kaga, and I don't know why. Like the intro is all about her. The
Entrance
and
exit
the
thing,
endings
yeah.
are all about her. It's like no, it should be about Bonri, but it's not. So Kaga is not a stalker crazy type anymore. I'm going to fix the computer real quick. 1 second.
It doesn't do anything.
It just makes sense. That's just
You poked it with the
I
keyblade?
poked it with the keyblade. Linda's different. What's her face? Oh, that's like the end.
What about the little kawaii chick? girl?
Chinami.
Yeah.
Chinami is you know how in the anime, after like at the end she cuts her hair and she becomes like an emo girl kind of thing. She's like depressed. She is never depressed and she's never mad. Oh yes, this one where she's like, "We're gonna do it now."
Oh my god.
Yep.
Okay.
You remember that episode, right?
Kind of. I went and tried to rewatch it, and then I got caught up with something else. I should just read the manga.
The manga's so good, but yeah, it just a lot like it changes. Like after reading Golden Time manga, I cannot watch the anime.
It's just trash.
It
Pure
just
trash.
it just ruined it for me. Like yeah, I like the anime.
Yeah.
It's like oh no, don't do it this way. Oh, they did it so much better in the manga. Like the beginning, like there's some beginning scenes that like I could go on forever, but yeah. That's the cool things about manga. If you want to be a weeb like me, get the manga of your favorite anime and you can see what differences there are.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting the next volume of this one. It just came out this month. It's coming soon. And it's stories that are not even in the anime. So it's past the end. It's past the anime now.
Well, the anime was only 12 episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the last one is it's like the half of the book. And then that's where the anime ends, and then more stories happen. Like you see what happens after the pool incident. You know they have a pool.
Yeah.
And in the anime, it like cuts to like the next couple days, and he's like the Yukari's all like oh yeah, and then Tetsu's all like.
Yeah, didn't you say there's a new like a ghost girl?
There's a ghost girl. Yeah, there's a new girl. But in this one. Instead of like, oh, we're gonna end the anime kind of ending scene, it's the ice chick goes to Hikari's house, and she's like completely red because she's a vampire and she's super sunburned, and you see it and she's like, ow, it's really funny.
They're gonna do a second season, I think, of the anime. I
don't know because I don't know how far the light novel is, but they've only gotten one extra volume of the.
Interesting.
So yeah. We're weebs, guys.
Yep. Well,
but no. So we're still talking about what I've been playing.
Oh my gosh.
So Dragon Quest, I played. I had a barbecue on my last day off, and I was just playing. I had to be in front of the barbecue for like 10 hours, so I decided to play my Xenogear file, and I played 8 to 10 hours of Xenogears that day.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Crazy.
That game's intense. That game's very intense.
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff that goes on. Like the whole beginning. Have you caught up to the beginning? Like what happens at the beginning?
What do you mean? What happens at the beginning?
Remember, there's like a flash forward, and then you start from the you know what I mean.
Yeah, you mean the village?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's like a
That's like the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm way past that.
Okay.
So I was trying to take over. I was trying to take down this false leader for the prince Bartholomew.
Oh yeah.
And that whole thing, I finished that, and like this whole thing happened where there was like this demon fighter that obviously I know who it is, and it like takes out everyone, and all this crap happens, and then it just cuts away from like something's about to happen, something bad's about to happen, and then it just cuts, it fades out, and then it fades back into Faye waking up in a bed in like a prison all the way in a different country, and I'm like, what? And then I played through all that, and I just got to. I started doing the gear fights, and apparently there were like murders in the sewers, and then and they were accusing you, and you had to, prove your innocence.
Yeah.
I did that, and I killed Red Rum. That's the monster's name was Red Rum. I'm like, very original, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm at. And holy crap, this game is really fun.
Wait, is that the prison where Satan breaks you out or whatever?
Satan's there, yeah.
I think that's about as far as I got before I quit.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun. I want to play it now. That's how I feel. I don't think I need to play Dragon Quest, but now I'm in the mood to play a lot of Xenogears.
Just knock it out.
Knock it out. I really want. It's like I want to know what happens to these characters. It's very interesting.
When a story can grip you like that, I know it's hard to put it down. That's what I loved about games like Tokyo Xanadu, Persona. There's like always something that like teases you to keep going and keep going and keep going.
I keep saying like this is gonna happen. Like right now, something big's about to happen, and I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen? I know. It's like something's like these two characters are gonna meet, and then something's gonna happen. It's like I just want to get to that part. I think I'm gonna get to that part after this podcast. But Xenogears is really good. There's some I'm gonna talk and I'm gonna think in Taylor mode right now.
Okay.
It takes a while. The like loading times for the menus sometimes are a little slow, so that might bother you. Random. There are a lot of random battles, but
I remember that.
It doesn't really bother me. There's a lot of parts where there's not random battles. There's like enemies that chase you, and if you get hit, you go.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those, and the battle. I think you will enjoy the battle system. The battle system is not slow at all.
No, it's a cool. I remember the battle system is pretty cool.
But the big thing is there's lots of exposition, lots of talking, and a lot of story. I love that. I think that bothers you sometimes. It
just depends if it's good or not. Like if it's good, I'm like way into it.
Yeah.
But if it's boring, then I'm like, well, sorry, don't care.
So there's a lot of that. So that could be a plus or a minus to you. So I don't know. I need to play it more.
Yeah. You can't.
But for everyone else, it is a great JRPG. It's a lot of symbolism and a lot of like deep talk. That's like, we must kill the surface dwellers and these stupid lambs, and they're like, what is all this? What's this mean?
It's like Connor's favorite game.
Yeah,
ever.
Connor loves it, and he keeps messaging me. He's like, so are you at this place? So are you at this place? How are you liking this? Have you gave up yet? And I'm like, no, I haven't. No, I'm still going. Don't worry.
Nice.
I was like, I'm just taking a little longer because I'm playing like 2 games, and soon I'm going to be playing 3 games at once. It's going to be a little hard.
And then 4. Oh my god. I know. I'm trying to get a full run of Dead Cells down. I don't get very far in that game because you have to start all the way from the beginning every single time. But
okay, so back to Dragon Quest. Can you guys in the comments? I just got my boat, and I have to go to the city. Raven something. It starts with an R, and I have to find the rainbow. How much longer do you think I have? I think I'm like barely even started in the game, but
like 100 hours.
Yeah, just tell me where I'm at. Like how many hours do you think I have to go? If it's like only like 20 or 30, I'll probably like binge through it, try to get through it.
Yeah.
I haven't even gotten all the characters. I haven't gotten Maria.
AKA, I think her name's Jade. Yeah.
We call her Maria because Spaghetti called her Maria. That's
Yep.
the only reason why I call her Maria.
Yeah, they changed all the names from Japanese, and so we were like, I wonder what her name is going to be. And Spaghetti's like, it's just Maria. It's always going to be Maria, even if that's not her name.
Yep, we're just going to call her Maria.
Yeah.
I got those 2, and then Torna's going to come out at the end of
Oh my god, I forgot.
end of next week.
Dude, the rest of the year is just insane. Yeah, because when I get back to Charleston, I'm going to have Valkyria Chronicles 4, baby.
That's coming out, and so is Remulor.
Yeah, that I don't know which one to play because I want to play both of those. Valkyria Chronicles 4. When I watched the Easy Allies review, it's longer than the first one.
That's good.
The first
one's short, right?
Yeah, it took me like 20 something hours, like 22 hours maybe.
Very short. 22 hours, very short.
I know. For a typical JRPG.
Yeah. All right. So that's what I've been playing. A lot more Xenogears, a lot more Dragon Quest coming in the future.
Yep. and probably won't have anything new to talk about game-wise on the next episode.
You?
For me.
Yeah, because Taylor's going to a wedding, and then he's going back to moving, and then we're probably going to talk a lot about TGS.
Yep. So next episode will be TGS, but then the episode after will be full info dump on Valkyria Chronicles 4, even though the embargo was up really early on that game for some reason. I guess they were just confident it was going to be good. But, we'll have our opinions, or at least I will.
Good.
Are you getting that? I forgot.
I have it pre-ordered. I guess it's going to come in, so I'm getting it, but I don't know when I'm going to play it.
Maybe cancel one or two of those, because you have, so many games right now.
Yeah, I might cancel Valkyria Chronicles 4. I'll get Remulor, and I'll tell you how it is.
I want to play that, too. That also seems like a Taylor game. It's like a hack and slash, kind of roguelike, randomly generated, something or other. So,
Anime,
waifu, yep.
All right, so let's move to questions. I didn't do that last time, but
yeah, not too many this week, but if you have questions, head over to the Discord and
if you have questions, okay, let's do it this way. If you have questions and you don't use Discord, if you want to ask one for next week, comment below in YouTube, tweet at us, LHG channel, or go to our Discord. And we'll answer them next week.
Yep.
Even for TGS ones. Because next week's going to be full TGS episode. It might be a little late because Taylor has a wedding, but we'll try to get it out. First question. Waka Waka Waka. I like the name. Are there certain bosses in any RPGs that friends or people you talk to have had an insane amount of trouble on that you didn't find to be hard at all, perhaps? Because of a certain character that has a certain ability or something like that. Example would be Riku in FF10 because you can steal holy candles in Zanarkand to put zombie proof on armor, making Lady Yuna a cakewalk.
Yep. The one that comes to mind is, oh my god, I can't remember this boss name. Give me a sec. If you have an answer.
Like what's hard that I found easy?
Yeah, so it's bosses that you found easy that other people always had trouble with.
I don't know. I usually have trouble on the bosses that Nosferatu. Everyone knows Nosferatu and Cold Steel 1 and Cold Steel 2. That was a pain in my butt.
Was it?
Yes. Because I didn't have any anti-sleep items on, and he would just make you fall asleep with Nightmare, and then you'll scream and kill all of them, all the people who have Nightmare. It was fun. It was hard to kill. And then he would eat one of your characters, and you would have to hit him really hard. You remember Nosferatu, right?
I don't remember most of the bosses from that game, if I'm being honest.
he was in the castle in Laura's hometown. I totally blanked on the name of the castle in Laura's hometown that you go, and it's all crazy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. You had a lot of trouble with that one.
I had a lot of trouble, but ones that I found easy.
So for me, while you're thinking, so in Bloodborne, I've heard this from multiple people. This boss called Vicar Amelia, which is the white dog-looking boss. A lot of people said they had trouble with that boss, and I beat it first try. It was the easiest boss in the game. And I don't really know what the hard part about it is for a lot of people, but I remember just going up to the boss, and at one point, it gets down its knees and starts praying, and it did a super hard slash, and then just stunned him, and then I just killed him, and it was over. And I'm like, that was super easy. And the one I had trouble with was Rom, the spider boss, and everybody beat that one quick. So it's just people think differently.
People have their quirks.
Yeah.
The final boss in Tokyo Xanadu.
Yeah, that one I had.
You had trouble. I did not have trouble.
Well, I had trouble because I was in a frustration mood, and then I turned it off, and then I came back the next day and I beat him first try.
Yeah, okay? I beat it first try. It was really easy.
Because for me, I was so dead set on beating the game, but it was really late, and I was tired and cranky, and I'm like, ugh.
And we were trolling him on the chat, and you're like, I don't even care, guys. I'm gonna beat it. I don't care. I'm gonna skip seats. I don't care. I'm gonna beat it. I don't care. It's we were like, man, Taylor's so mad right now.
Oh man, I'm trying to remember other bosses that I found easy that other people had trouble with. Nothing stands out, unfortunately. That's the one I remember is Vicar Amelia from Bloodborne.
I mean, I never really had boss I tend to play my games on hard, so the bosses tend to always be kind of difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100%.
I think the one that I remember having a not as hard time because I played on normal. You and Maddie played Persona 5 on hard. I played on normal. Was that bug boss because he drives like a robot or something like that?
Oh,
and I remember you have to like he beat the robot and then he's like bouncing on the ball or something.
Yeah.
I remember that wasn't that hard. I'm like, oh, you just hit the robot and then you hit the ball and it's whatever.
Yeah, you had to hit him really hard in the hard mode, and he's like every time he would not fall off. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yep. I remember not having that much trouble, but
no, like what was difficult in that one in Persona 5 is sometimes in random monsters you would get surprised and then they would instantly hit all your weaknesses and then just do like an ultimate attack and kill you. And you're like, okay, well,
that's hard mode. I didn't ever have that. I had that in Persona Q. In Persona Q, that happens all the time. You just like you get screwed by a random mob. I'm like, okay,
that's actually happened to me in Xenogears. I was in the sewer levels, right?
Yep.
And I was just a random spawn, and they just destroyed me. And I'm like, where did this come from? Where did this difficulty spike come from? So whenever it was like two giant like sharks, and then a bunch of like creepy bug things, and the creepy bug things would just spawn more creepy bug things, and the giant sharks would like just hit you and like do like 200 damage, and that's like 2/3 of your health.
Yep.
And you're just like, okay,
all right, game.
And that's not playing on hard because they didn't have hard.
That's just the game.
That's just the game.
Yep.
I didn't really.
All right, I think that we're probably good on that question then.
Bosses. Playing Tales of Destiny on evil mode, every random battle is like a boss battle. Spaghetti. When is the Trails in the Sky spoiler cast? I think in like 6 months ago. We already have one, Nick.
Yeah, because he just beat Trails in the Sky, so he's all hype on.
Yeah, we have Trails in the Sky 1 and 2 spoiler cast on already.
And Persona 5.
We have Persona 5 and then Trails of Cold Steel.
That's right.
You're in none of them.
I'm in Persona 5.
You're in Persona 5, yeah.
Yeah, it was Yumi, Maddie, and Ben Moore.
Yep, that was cool.
Well, I'm trying to think of the next one that we can do. Tokyo Xanadu. So Maddie beats it, I guess.
If she beats it.
And then we should have Kathleen on that one too. Kathleen's been on more spoiler casts than I have.
I know.
She was in Cold Steel and both the Sky ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kathleen.
We could talk
Ease
about
8.
that. Ease 8. I mean, we're going to spoil things for you because we've done like true ending stuff, but we could talk about it.
Yeah, it's fine.
What do you want to see? What spoiler cast do you want to see? Leave in the comments below or talk to us in Discord. And then we'll tell you to...
Because I'm trying to think if it's like more interesting to do like games that just came out or like old games that everybody's playing and they just want our opinion.
People just want us to do spoiler casts, and we haven't done one in like a year.
Yeah, so if you want one...
It's hard. It is really hard to do spoiler casts because none of my partners play JRPGs anymore. No, I'm joking. Taylor's been playing a lot, so it's good to play with Taylor. If you just wanted us to just do spoiler cast.
Yeah, like you said, the problem for me also is like all the finer details of the story I tend to forget. Like once I beat a game, it just goes out there. Unless it's a game like Final Fantasy VII or Tactics or Legend of Dragoon or something I beat like multiple times, I just don't remember.
So I would have to lead him.
Yeah, if you like remind me, like things will spark, but like on my own, I would be like, what happens? Oh yeah. So
it's like, do you remember Tokyo Xanadu?
I mean, I remember the bigger overarching story, and then obviously like the spoilers, like White Shroud and stuff like that. But yeah, I get that would have to be one you'd have to remind me on. But that's more fresh than a lot of other games. Like Easy 8, the story is we're on an island and there's Donna and stuff. I don't know.
That's all you know.
Yep.
I could tell you about that one. That one's interesting.
Keep in mind, I beat that once and then I've speedrun it like
multiple times.
20
and you
times.
skip Donna's story, like all the like backstory of what happens. The Lacrimosa part of that story, you skip it. It's really funny.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a whole part you like when you skip the mud boss and then you're just like randomly Donna and then she dies and then you go back to being Adol and everybody. It's the way the triggers work in the speedrun is you have to activate bosses, there always has to be a boss trigger activated, because like what ends up happening is there's this one part where you go back to the Schlom forest or whatever, or the Schlom mud pits or whatever it's called, and there's a boss right at one of the right at a teleport stone, and you pop in, trigger it, and then you leave, because that way it won't trigger another boss or something like that. I don't know how it works. They've figured it out. I'm just copying their strategy. It's fun though. It's a fun speed run.
So point is that if you want us to do spoiler cast and you want us to do specific ones, just tell us. We'll see what we could do. We'll do more now that we're doing recordings. We could do them. Laser Glow in a in a similar vein to Waka's question. What are some of your favorite RPG bosses and why?
I think we've had a question like this before.
We had this question like this before about 45 plus episodes ago.
I'm trying to favorite battles.
I'll tell you mine. So in Tales of Destiny remake,
it's like every battle is great. It's the whole game.
There's this really cool battle. So in the PS1 version, you go to the Swordian lab and you upgrade your Swordians. Just you put it in a machine and then it's like, oh, we're stronger now. In the remake, they changed it up. You actually have to what happens is you put it in the machine, and then the master, has to go in the machine as well, and then they have to mind meld pretty much, and then they have to pass a trial that the Swordian gives them, and it's what happens with Stan is that he has to fight Dimlos. So there's a battle where it's just Stan and Dimlos fighting each other.
What sword is he using?
He's using Dimlos as well.
That don't make a lick of sense.
So it's Swordian.
He's fighting Dimlos with Dimlos.
Yeah, so he's using Dimlos was a person. He's a person. So you're fighting person Dimlos with sword Dimlos.
Got it.
So he's still using the Swordian, but it's just and it's just a really cool battle. It's a cool story moment happens, and you get your third mystic art. And it was really fun. It's like playing a fighting game. It's like, okay, what is he gonna do? He does this move, dash backwards, and do all this cool stuff, and and it has a very memorable song. It was just cool. It's like a 1-on-1 battle. That's all it is.
The one that immediately comes to mind is this boss in Final Fantasy VII called Carry Armor, and I remember back in the day it being hard, but I bet you if I played it today, it probably wouldn't be that hard. But basically, it does a couple things. So the main thing it does is a lot like Demon's Gate or the Demon Wall in Temple of Ancients. It does this move that hits everybody for a ton of damage. It's like this lightning thing that hits everybody. But randomly, what it'll do is it'll pick up one of your party members, and you can't fight with it. And then randomly it'll throw it back. So what you have to do is you have to take its arms out first, so he can't pick you up. So it's kind of fun to try to balance. Okay, do I take the arms down first? I got to heal. So there's a lot to keep track of. And then similarly, there is a boss at the top of the mountain where there's a two-headed dragon, and one's weak to fire and one's weak to ice. So you have to make sure you balance. You're not because then it gets healed by the opposite. So you can't just do Ifrit, because one's going to take damage and the other one's going to get healed. So you have to balance that out, which is pretty fun. I'm trying to think if in because Bloodborne, it's hard in turn-based fights because it's all there's only so much you can do really. But in
favorite boss battles,
games,
Vilius is one of my favorite.
That one was hard.
It's so hard, but it's so memorable.
It's white knuckles. Oh my god, yes.
It's that whole section of that game, because you fight Elmodor after that.
Yeah, Ryovane's castle just in general is tough. Yeah, the gates, the Weegriff fight. I don't know how you do it without auto pushing, because I know our whole tactic is you just go up to Weegriff, you just plan on getting hit, but you just have X potions. I don't know how you're supposed to do it otherwise.
You have healing spells. I don't know. It was a difficult fight.
Yep.
I just remember we're kids, all right. We're kids. During that, in between the battle where you see Alma, she's in the prison and she's just hearing all this death.
Oh yeah.
And there's this one death where you just hear like running.
Yeah.
And then you just hear slice. Oh. And we would always laugh at that. It's like that guy just ran, got sliced, and died.
Yeah.
It was just always so funny. But we were kids. We were laughing at death. Okay, it's all right. Good times. Speaking of bosses that grab your characters, in Xenogears, there's this gear boss that grabs your character, like grabs your extra characters and then hits you with them.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
So that boss would grab a character and grab another one and hit you twice, and it would do like 400 damage. And what happened was, Faye, the Welltail, died. I still had my 2 generic helpers, and they would just kick him until he was dead. And I was like, this sucks. Faye's not going to get any XP at all. And that's because you can't heal gears.
Right.
So I'm like, stop focusing me. And he just killed Welltail.
Okay. It's like, all
I
right.
was like, okay, thanks. Even when I did my my inner healing, which for gears it raises your defense, but.
And then I would just generally say any fight in Ys 8 or Tokyo Xanadu because it's action combat, and I just like the combat in those games. That action and combat engine from Falcom. It's good. It's good. It's godlike.
The final battles in Cold Steel 1. Can't talk about it because it's a spoiler.
Pretty good.
I enjoyed it. That actually blew my mind.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah, and then when it started, that entire scene, it made a 8 out of 10 into a 20 out of 10. So, I can't say it. I was gonna spoil it for you.
Yep.
And then the last question from Canny: what's your favorite soup?
Favorite soup?
I like bean and bacon.
Does
soup.
ramen count as soup?
I mean, technically it's a soup.
So I'm gonna say ramen.
What kind of ramen?
The spicy miso ramen from the Mitsuya grocery store in Saratoga, California. It's the best soup in the world.
He likes spicy miso. Bean and bacon soup. And minestrone is really good too. I love some minestrone.
On a technical level, if ramen doesn't count, I'm gonna say some good old clam chowder. Likes me some clam chowder, and then some Chinese like hot and sour soup is really good.
Yeah, it's weird because it's such an offensive taste and smell, hot and sour.
Yeah,
it's so offensively it's like ugh, but it's like I want more.
Yeah, it's good.
Wonton soup.
Yeah, I mean Panda has actually pretty good soup. Panda Express. I mean, most of their stuff is kind of just okay. Like I feel like Panda is best like right when it comes off the griddle or from the wok, and it's like fresh and hot. Like if you get like just the stuff that's been sitting there, like oh god, that's gross.
It's awful.
Like soggy orange chicken is just the worst. When it's like fresh and hot, ugh.
What's it called? Crackling rice soup, where they put like a rice cracker in the soup and it starts crackling. Ooh, that was really good.
There's also this stuff in Korea called shabu. It's sort of like a hot pot thing, and it's spicy. And you just put like a bunch of vegetables and meat, and oh god, that's really good too.
You know what I miss?
What do you miss?
The shoyu ramen from Ringer Hut. It's so basic, but for some reason it has a really nice taste to it.
Why do you miss it? Because
I haven't had it for a long time. Okay. And it's so expensive. It's like, why even go there anymore?
Yeah, just go to the Mitsuya one. It's better.
None of the ramens taste like that. It's weird. It's super basic, guys. It's like top ramen. It's like better top ramen. But it's a very, very.
Well, it has a lot of other ingredients. There's a big old piece of like roast beef in there or whatever that is. There's like an egg, and they have some other little vegetables and stuff. But
some reeds and stuff like that. So
bamboo shoots, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the Mitsuya one, and then I don't know what the other one around the corner is called. That little tiny hole in the wall. That place is good too, but they have like a ton of like cabbage and stuff, which I don't know if I like. I'm like, just give me more noodles and like give me an egg.
Is it our Renchi, the one on Lawrence Expressway?
Yeah, I went there once with Leonard. It was
Did he pull the Leonard on you?
Maybe.
We had a huge line.
He's like, just come on.
Yeah, he did that.
Yeah.
He had a huge line, and then he looks. He's like, "Oh, I know the guy," and then he goes like this.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, and we just skipped an entire line. It was like an hour-long wait, and I'm like, "Who are you?"
Leonard knows everybody. He did that with me and Grace, and we went to the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, and we were at like the back of the line. And we're like, oh god, this is gonna take forever. And then like some dude opens a random door, and he's just like, and Leonard's like, oh hey man, and he's like, can I just like come in with you? He's like, fine. He's like, can my friends come too? And he's like, yeah, whatever. And so we're like sneaking in the back. And I'm like, dude, Leonard, you're the best.
Yeah, it's so weird.
He just knows everybody.
It's hanging out with Leonard's the weirdest thing, man.
Because he's so unassuming. He just sort of like hangs out. He's just like, yeah, whatever.
We need to hang out with him again. We haven't hung out with him for a long time.
I know.
I want to do like I think I told you this story, Taylor, where we were at like a Street Fighter event, and you've been to what's it called, the thing in San Francisco, the little gaming like lounge area that they.
Oh yeah.
Found the Foundry or something.
Yeah,
like that?
that's where they had the Crunchyroll thing actually.
Yeah.
So I know what that is.
So it was there, and there's just a bunch. There's like pros there and everything like that, and I'm just hanging out watching people play Street Fighter, and then Leonard comes up to me and he's like, "Man, I want to introduce you to Mike Ross and Gutex," and I'm like,
Okay.
"What?" And then he was just talking. It's like, "So, Mike, you need this." He just pulls out a Monster Hunter out of his pocket. It's like, "You need to play this."
He always has just a spare copy of Monster Hunter hanging around.
That was really weird. And then and then he just walks up to me and is like, "Hey, this is Valle." I'm like, "Holy shit, what the fuck?" Valle is like Mr. Street Fighter.
Wow.
And he was like, "Oh, hey man," and it's like, I just met Valle, and Leonard's just like, "Oh yeah, this guy over here." And I remember one time he asked me, he's like, "Hey, do you want to get breakfast?" Oh my god, I forgot the name. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's like, "Oh yeah, I'm hanging out with Infiltration. And see if you want to join." And I'm like, "Are you serious?" So only like fighting game followers. Valle. I also met Justin Wong, Gutex, Mike Ross, and I didn't meet Infiltration. I didn't go to that, but yeah, he was hanging out with Infiltration. Leonard knows everything. Wow. Everyone. Wow. That's Leonard. It's super interesting.
And then I don't even know if he has a job. Remember, he quit his job, and then he's just like, I'm just hanging out. It's whatever.
I don't know what he does now. Does something. All right, guys.
And that's it.
That is
like another 2-hour episode, probably.
Yeah, that was a fun episode. It'll be coming. Oh wait, duh. We're not doing this live anymore. I'm still in live mode.
Yeah.
But thanks for watching. Be sure to, if you have any questions, as I said before, if you have questions, comment below. Tweet at us at LSG Channel. Follow us on all our social media. Links are going to be below.
And if you're listening to us on iTunes, make sure to leave a review, because people are actually like finding us from iTunes, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had Waka Waka. He found us from iTunes. Now he's on the Discord. So it actually helps spread the word. You know, like the more people that rate it and leave reviews and stuff, the word, it like kind of rises up the charts. So if you enjoy the show, make sure you do that.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. And if you guys want to talk to us, we have an awesome community on our Discord. We talk about everything. You don't get weirded out by weebness. We get kind of weeby out in there, but it's fine. We don't go too much. We try to hold back Abe. We put him in the corner sometimes. Just Abe's harmless. He's just, he likes to troll.
Exactly.
But yeah, you guys should enjoy it. It's really fun. And with that, we will see you next week with all the awesome TGS news, Tales of Destiny Remaster, and that's it. See ya.
Bye.